What's up, everybody? My name is Paul Davis Griffin, and I am very excited to be here today. Talking about bullshit. All jokes aside, I'm really enjoying making this segment, and I couldn't do it without your suggestions, so shout out to you guys. Let us begin! Today's topic comes to you from It's Brianna Lee, who wants me to talk about the Mandela Effect. Yes, girl, you got it, I am on it. The Mandela Effect is a relatively new phrase which has been used to describe the feeling of recalling something or having a very clear memory of something that never actually happened in the first place. The term Mandela Effect was coined in 2010 by a blogger named Fiona Broom. She had a clear memory of Nelson Mandela dying during his incarceration in the 1980s. Fiona could clearly remember seeing clips of his death on the news and hearing reports of riots breaking out in cities. However, she was very shocked to learn that in the time that she was writing the article, Nelson Mandela was still very much alive. She proceeded to coin the term after learning that there was a small population of people who also shared these memories, and her conclusion was, obviously, that we are living amongst many parallel universes and we keep slipping between them. Oh, straight to the point. I like that about you, Fiona. You know, no messing around. This is a woman who knows where her priorities are. The whole thing seems kind of silly, but the theory is actually gaining a lot of popularity online as people have their own false memories. I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing Mandela Effect videos pop up all over my newsfeed. Mandela Effect videos are like the new photo booth tag for some reason. People have reported things like changes in Pikachu's design, a missing SpongeBob episode, and the fact that Darth Vader never actually says, "Luke, I am your father." I know what some of you are thinking. Yes, he did. He totally said that. What are you, crazy?
No. I am your father.
Well, I need to reassess my reality. Still don't believe in the Mandela Effect? Well, dude, check this out.
When I first saw the dialogue that said, "Luke, I am your father,"
That's James Earl Jones himself. Even he's saying it that way. So you're telling me that the great James Earl Jones does not remember a line he said from 35 years ago in a studio once? He would remember that. Okay? It's not like literally everyone in the world has been misquoting it for a third of a century. James Earl Jones has a perfect memory, and he is a god!
and I will smite you if you say otherwise.
Now, if you personally haven't seen a lot of Mandela Effect videos popping up, it might have something to do with the fact that I watch a lot of conspiracy videos. Do I really think that the government is run by lizard people, or that aliens have been building a base on the moon for the past 80 years? No, I don't. Okay, because that is literally clinically insane. But if the day ever go, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? All I'm saying is that the day it turns out one of those conspiracies is real, like accidental time travel, right? And I just suddenly get warped out of this room and I'm standing in a field somewhere and there's like Confederate generals riding up to me on horses. I know what the fuck just happened. I watched this shit on YouTube. You know, I know how this story ends, and more importantly, I know what I need to do to survive. See, I knew that watching all those conspiracy videos wasn't a waste of my time. But until I get sucked back in time, it will continue to be a waste of my time. When I started seeing Mandela Effect videos pop up in my newsfeed, I didn't quite buy it. It just seemed too easy to explain away with pop culture. For example, I had already read an article that was about the common mispronunciation of "Luke, I am your father." It stated that it was pretty common to misquote famous movie lines, and stand-up routines are on the radio in order to give contextual clues to bring the audience along with you. If a radio host were to suddenly pop on air and say, "I am your father," it's both a little bit confusing and concerning. But if they say, "Luke, I am your father," we all immediately know they're talking about Star Wars.
Luke, I am your father.
See, that was Star Wars. We all know that. Now, we don't have to go assume that the radio host has some daddy issues.
I'm your father.
Do you see what I mean? There's disconnect. There's disconnect there. So this explanation can totally account for the fact that Captain Kirk never actually said, "Beam me up, Scotty." Nor did Dolly's Sherlock Holmes ever say, "Elementary, my dear Watson." Although both these phrases did eventually make their way into the source material itself. So I think we can start to see a theme here in thinking that maybe the Mandela Effect is a little bit bullcrap. Unfortunately, you might just have to accept that the Berenstain Bears isn't spelled the way you think it might be, and Kit Kat doesn't have a dash between it, Curious George doesn't have a tail, and the Monopoly Man does not have a monocle. That's Mr. Peanut, guys! Come on, know your brands! But then I came across one that honestly blew my mind. Okay? This is crazy, and it's all because of Sinbad. Sinbad! This guy. You guys remember Sinbad? Sinbad! A short time into my research, I started seeing reports of a movie starring Sinbad revolving around his adventures as a genie. A movie that never existed in the first place. Now this is all well and good, okay? But it becomes concerning considering the fact that I also have memories of Sinbad dressed as a genie. I can remember him wearing a red turban, I can remember an open shirt, and I can remember a big-ass medallion around his neck. And these memories that I have were completely confirmed by strangers on the internet who have the exact same recollection. How strange is that? And weirdly enough, Sinbad has never played a genie in anything. It doesn't make any sense. Just look at this guy. He looks more like a genie than the genie of Aladdin did. Just look at what he's wearing. What are you, the hippest ice cream man in town? What are you going for? Now, I've seen the argument that everyone in the 90s is just racist and they're confusing Sinbad for Shaq in the 1996 Kazam movie, which was just awful. Don't go see that one. But I know that's not the case because the only reason I have this memory to begin with is when Shazam did come out, I said, didn't they just make this movie with Sinbad? God, Shazam. One very small blemish on an otherwise perfectly professional and dynamic creative career. I'll have to admit to you guys, the more that I read on this conspiracy, the more I just got swept up in it. This Sinbad movie, what the fuck? Every Saturday. Honestly, it got to a point where I start wondering, what if this shit is real? What if space and time isn't as linear as we all thought it is, guys? And what happens if we find out that humankind is actually just as clueless as we were when we thought the Earth was flat? And so I kept digging and digging, and eventually I found out he was a sailor, guys. Sinbad was dressed up as a fucking sailor. It was a really old cartoon, and they had a marathon of it in 1992, and Sinbad the actor hosted, dressed as Sinbad the sailor, wearing a red turban, an open shirt, and a big-ass medallion. You get it? For the record, you guys have no idea how long I looked for this image, okay? This is straight up the image I was imagining. Like, the mystery's over. And the timeline all adds up too. Everyone remembers seeing it in the early 90s, and this started circulation in 1992. The image alone of Sinbad dressed vaguely as a genie had become so ingrained into my memory and my childhood that I straight up and full-heartedly thought that there was an entire movie based around that one image. A movie that never existed. To get down to the point, I hope you can all use this prime example of my stupidity so that you also don't let crazy, ridiculous tabloid spam rot your brain. And always remember to take things with a grain of salt. The only reason it's so easy to believe things online is because there's a screen in front of your face. You wouldn't believe that crap if it was happening in your own home. Like last week, I found a pan that I could have sworn I'd already washed, but my first thought wasn't, oh my god, I already washed this pan! We are slipping between time and space! My thought was more along the lines of, oh shit, I guess I didn't wash that pan. All I'm saying is there's a lot of reasons that someone might possess a false memory. In fact, the Mandela Effect isn't a new phenomena at all. There's actually a word for this in psychology. It's called confabulation. Wikipedia defines confabulation as, I quote, a disturbance of memory, defined as the production of fabrication, distorted or misinterpreted memories about oneself or the world without the conscious intent to deceive. People are still debating over the Mandela Effect, but if you want my personal opinion, which I'll give you because this is my channel, and I can do whatever the fuck I want, I think it's all bullshit. I really do. I think it's a lot of fun. But I do not believe that parallel universes are getting in the way of our timeline. I just think that the human brain's a little bit more mysterious and complicated than we often give it credit for. But maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe we'll never know. Or maybe, just maybe, the answer's already out there. But we'll never know. Because there's so much bullshit. And I think that's probably where I want to cut myself off today, guys. This has been educational. I'm sure we've had more educational videos than this before, but this one just kind of hit a good spot for me. I'd be interested to know what you guys think. It's also pretty damn long, you know? It just kind of happened. I don't know. Is that a good thing? I don't know yet. If you enjoyed this video and you have a topic you want to hear me rant about aimlessly, you can let me know in the comment section, or you can let me know on my Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram account. Those links are in the description, bros. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I've been having a blast making new content, and always remember, subscribe? That one. Subscribe, guys. All right. Bye, guys.